All right, we're here with Guy Falzarano from Rainbow Academy and also the legislative arm of the New Jersey Child Care Association. Guy, I know you have a lot of contact with Trenton and the issues that come up with early childhood education. What are some of the key legislative issues, or one of the key things that you think we are dealing with now?
I think one of the main issues that we're dealing with right now is that people recognize that early childhood education is very important. We want to get children who are 3, 4, and 5-year-olds to get everybody have the same advantages. So a lot of legislators are looking at how do they make that happen. I think part of the problem is people are just looking at how do we make it happen, but not how do we make it happen cost effectively and with the best level of quality. So I think the best way to do it is not to move it into the public school system, because that will only exacerbate the problems that we have right now with the public teachers pension fund. Right now that's over $50 billion, and it's getting worse. Putting more teachers in to provide services for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds is only going to make that pension fund deficit a lot higher. So I think there's other ways that we can do this. Probably one of the best ways that I can think of would be using community-based providers, working in conjunction with local school districts to be able to provide services to the children who need it.
That would be a real advantage also, I think, for families, because they could then go to the school where they work, or take their children where they work, where they live, or where grandma is, and they have a lot more options than if they just get funneled into the public school system.
I agree, and public school system does a fine job for the most part, but they just can't provide, or they're just not tuned in to the level of care that we provide as a community-based provider. I mean, I can't imagine putting a 3-year-old on a bus with a 10-year-old. I just don't want my 3-year-olds exposed to the same thing that 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds are talking about. So I just think going in that direction is just not the right approach. It's not the way we want to educate our children.
And I think one of the things that you've spoke about before, too, that's so important is the quality of care that we provide. I know for myself, for my own children, when they went to preschool, I talked to the preschool teacher every single day. And my biggest shock going to public school was that all of a sudden, twice a year, if you're lucky, you get to speak with the teacher. And I think we provide a different kind of service for families than the public school can do.
I agree. We have a business that's not like any other business. We see our customers, and we have multiple customers. The customers are the children, the parents, sometimes the grandparents, and other extended family members like aunts and uncles, and we see them twice a day, every day. That doesn't happen in the public school system. When a parent has an issue that they would like to talk about with their teacher, they can't get an audience with a public school teacher. It just doesn't happen. With us, they're talking to their teachers. They understand what's going on at home, and the parents understand what's going on in our center. We're all about building strong relationships, and that's just not what the public school system is all about.
That's true, and I think that it's really important that that option is there for parents. Not only will they only pay for their education for maybe a year or two if they go that path, instead of taxes for the rest of their life. And one of the interesting things I think that you've brought out in the past is how much it costs a public school even to build a building compared to what you can do as a private school. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Well, without getting into all the gory numbers, typically we can build a school for 25% of what it would cost the public school system to build that same school. For whatever reason, and they've got all their reasons why they spend more money to do that, but all that translates into higher taxes. We pay our teachers and our teacher assistants at a competitive rate within the industry, and we just don't need to go to the level of benefits that they do in the public school system. So everything we do is geared towards making or providing a quality level service at a reasonable price.
And that's true. So parents, it's another way to think about this whole issue that's very popular nowadays of where is the best place for young children to be educated and cared for.
And I think community-based providers is the place to be. We are one, and so we come from that position, but we just provide a level of care that they just can't do in the public school system.
Exactly. All right, so look for a good quality child care community-based program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guy.